What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Thursday. It is September 28th edition. Welcome back. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We're going to look at everything. So, unlike the other DFS providers where they just give you like top 5 plays, we're going to give you everything. So, we're going to go through the pitching. We're going to go through the bats in each game that we like. We did it a different way yesterday's video, and you guys seem to like that. So we're going to try it again this video. Now, let me know. Really just depends if you guys do like it. But hopefully you brought home the bacon on Wednesday, and we're going to bring home the bacon for you, hopefully here on this Thursday edition. Anytime a video gets at least 50 likes before the lineup slate locks, and you leave a comment and you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. Brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. That includes MLB, NFL, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, and once NBA starts, NBA content as well. Anytime a video gets 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month. Anytime a video gets 125 likes, you have a chance to win a yearly pass. And if any of our videos get 150 more likes, we have a chance to give away one lifetime subscription. All you have to do, be a subscriber, like the video, and leave a comment so the comment picker can pick you up. But in this instance, if we do get 150 likes on this video, I'm going to give away 2 lifetime passes. So let's get to 150 likes. So that being said, by the time hopefully you see this early in the time. So that's kind of the thing. We need to get it before the lineup locks. If you have questions about it, get it in. Just get a comment in there. You have a chance to win. So we're going to look at, it's kind of broken into three different slates. So we've got 10 total games on the year. We've got 3 early, which there is rain concern in one, which we are going to go over everything. Then we have our normal, or like a 2-game afternoon turbo slate, and then we have 5 games in the normal 6:07, 6:05 Eastern Central start time. So that being said, we're going to dig right in and we're going to look at it. So we're going to look at the first 3 games on the slate. Kansas City at Detroit is the first game up. There is weather concern, so this is something to definitely monitor. But we do have Cole Ragans going up against Sawyer Gipson-Long, and I feel like Ragans has pitched against him the last 3 starts. Nope, I lied. It was at Houston. Ragans, his price has gone up quite a bit, and you can see we were taking him right in this range where he was 5,400 to 7,200. Now they bumped him up to 8,200, 8,500. Now he's 9,000. He's too expensive for me. He's faced Detroit once this year, 0.2 innings, 1K. I want to use him. I do. Maybe tournaments I will, and maybe the weather will scare a lot of people away because there's a chance of rain, but we can look at that. So Cole Ragans, and again, with 3 games in this slate, it's a tournament. Pretty much like I said in yesterday's video, and we will continue throughout. The rest of the year and the playoffs are going to be tournament lineups only, and tournament kind of mind thought, because everyone's on NFL. We've got the teams that they've already clinched, so they're throwing people out there we've never seen bat before. You might not know who they are. There's teams that are already out of it who might do the exact same thing. And then there's some teams that are still in the playoff race to the very last day of the season. They're going to give you the best lineup out there. So we're trying to navigate those waters. The last week is kind of crazy. The last week is kind of like if you're trying to play spring training baseball, which I fully don't want you to do that. It's kind of like that same kind of mindset. So we are going to look at all of these games, and we're going to give you a piece of our mind, and hopefully brings you peace of mind yourself. So against Cole Ragans is Sawyer Gipson-Long. We have used him a few times this year. His price is up there too now. They are pricing him up. Splitswise has not faced Kansas City this year, coming off not so good a game against Oakland, but a really good game against LA. I honestly don't know if I'll play much of this early slate. They were pricing up these players ridiculous right now. So if we are not using these pitchers and we're using these bats, which I'm completely fine with in this game, hitter-wise, Bobby Witt Jr. is always a good to go. Spencer Torkelson against the lefty, I love. Kerry Carpenter is a tournament option. Sal Perez is one I would look at. Nelson Velasquez I'm looking at. Olivares, MJ Melendez. I don't mind Jake Rogers, to be honest. Again, it's tournament. That's probably maybe Drew Waters and Michael Massey. It's probably as low as I would go in this game. So then we have Oakland at Minnesota. We've got Luis Medina versus Sonny Gray. Medina going here has not faced Minnesota this year. They've already clinched. Hasn't really hit value much at all. Had a good game here against San Diego, but that's basically it. You've got 5 innings, 1 game, and then he's going less than that for pretty much every start. I'm avoiding Medina. I am looking at Minnesota bats. I'm not looking at Oakland bats at all. I am looking at Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is still trying to get those, fantastic numbers, 280 ERA, coming off back-to-back 25-plus games, has not faced Oakland this year. I do wish this were in Oakland a little bit more, but we can take it. So I'm looking at Minnesota bats. Just looking at these bats, Jorge Polanco I would look at, Max Kepler, Edward Julian, Matt Wallner, Ryan Jeffers, Kirilloff. These are all bats that I do like. You want to get a little bit lower depending if they do get in that lineup. A Michael Taylor, Donovan Solano, Kyle Farmer, Trevor Larnach. I'm okay with those. I don't know if they will play. But again, Minnesota's already clinched. They're ready. They've already won their division. I could see some of these lower-owned guys, lower or lesser-known guys at a very low price be in this lineup. And I'm okay with that against Medina here. I do think I forgot to mention, but at the end of this video, we do 10,000 simulations every single day for MLB. Sorry about that. My dogs keep barking at everything. What I was saying was every single day for MLB, we do 10,000 simulations, and we give you those as our top plays. Those are on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com under the MLB tab. At the end of this video, we're going to give you the top 10 bats and top 10 pitchers after 2,000 simulations. So be on the lookout for that. That is towards the end of the video. It's a good way to measure kind of the ownership, where obviously after simulations, the AI, everything thinks it's going to be this way. That's normally a pretty good indicator of the ownership. And then if you want to get into tournaments, you want to get the lower ownership, you'll kind of go away from that. Those are the chalk plays. We can go away from the chalk plays and we can play other ones. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to give you that information towards the end of the video. If you do like this information, keep hitting the like buttons, keep leaving us comments, because I absolutely love reading the comments. I love the support you guys have given us over, basically, we restarted the website last football season, didn't get any views, didn't get anything, still kept going through it, and you guys keep coming back for MLB because we're very thorough with what we do. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. We're more right than we are wrong, but yeah, it's DFS. You're going to see some craziness out of every so often. So, that being said, thank you so much for the support. Let's move on. Again, I'm not taking any Oakland. I'm looking at Minnesota there. Then we look at the last game on this early slate, Arizona at the White Sox. So we've got Ciccone, I can't remember how you say his name, versus Toussaint. He just got recalled or from the injured list against the Yankees. He was off 20 days, 2.2 innings there. So he's not... Well, wait a minute. Maybe it's not going to be him because they just put him down to the minor leagues on the 25th, so on Monday. But they have him listed, so maybe they call him back up here. Well, they did just release Zach Davies, so this is one to monitor. I don't know if it's going to be him or not. I wouldn't use him if it was, but I don't know if it's going to be him or not. And then you got Touki Toussaint, who's been up and down this year. We've used him sometimes, we haven't. We did use him against Minnesota when he got 26.9, but we did also use him against Kansas City, and he gave up 8. So he's got mixed bags and mixed results for us as well. Probably not using him. Probably, again, the pitchers I would probably use in this situation would be Sonny Gray, Gibson, and maybe a little bit of Reagans, but I just don't like his price. Again, I'm not really going to be playing this slate, but the bats I would use in this one, Corbin Carroll against Toussaint, absolutely love the Rookie of the Year there. Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, Eloy Jimenez. I like Tommy Pham a little bit more against lefties. Benintendi's okay, but he's still expensive considering he's averaging only 6.5. I do like Gurriel, but he's day-to-day. Andrew Vaughn is an option I would look at. If you want to get cheaper options here, Gavin Sheets I'm okay with. Grandal, Corey Lee, depending on which one starts this game. Jake McCarthy, if he's on the list, I don't mind him. That's probably as low as I would go on this list. So overall, it's not the best early slate. I'm probably going these three right here, the top three. I'm avoiding these guys right here. I don't even know if it's going to be him or not. He'll have to get called up. That is definitely something to monitor. Then we look at the 2-game slate here. Both have weather concerns. This is the problem. We've got Wheeler, Sale, Kramer, and Ortiz. I like all of these. The pitching is good. The problem is I don't know what we're going to get with weather. We look at Zach Wheeler against Pittsburgh. Splits-wise, he's faced him once this year, 6.2 innings, 1 earned run, 11 Ks. Fantastic. Weather could be a concern, and he's 10,300 in a 2-game slate. Chris Sale going against Baltimore. It's really hard to take a pitcher against Baltimore this year. He's faced them. Look at these numbers. He's faced Baltimore 3 times this year, 12 innings pitched, 18 earned runs. He's averaging minus 1.3, and he's got a 13.5 ERA against Baltimore. I'm not looking at Chris Sale. I'm surprised he's second highest at 8,300. Dean Kramer against Boston. Splits-wise, he's faced him twice this year. He's given up a ton of runs. 8.2 innings, 9 earned runs. This could be a shootout here. I would be stacking. If I'm looking at this, I'm stacking this game. I would go Wheeler. I guess Ortiz. He hasn't faced Philly this year. Hasn't really done much. That's the problem. It's Wheeler, and I would go with Ortiz just to save salary. And then I would stack this game here. The bats that I would look at, obviously Gunnar Henderson. I like him more against righties, but we'll take him. Adley Rutschman is a switch hitter. Santander's a switch hitter I would look at. Ryan Mountcastle I would look at for Baltimore. Ryan O'Hearn, Austin Hayes. I would look at all of these. Boston bats against Dean Kramer. Devers, obviously. Justin Turner. Especially, this is in Baltimore. They're at home. They can hit well. Boston bats. I mean, Yoshida I would look at. Verdugo. Rafaela I'm okay with. Will Abreu I don't mind. But yeah, I want all the smoke with this game. Pitching-wise, I'm okay. Philly-wise, now Philly has already clinched. They're going to the playoffs. We already know this. They could be ones that throw out a lineup that are just players we don't know. I'm not using Pittsburgh bats. I would use Philly. Really depends on who's out there, but obviously Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. I could see them resting Bryce Harper more so than playing this week just because they're trying to. He obviously had the Tommy John surgery and he came back, was a little slow. Phillies were very slow to start the season. Turned it around just like last year. Now they're going to the playoffs. Make sure, but I mean, Kyle Schwarber at the top, love him. Real Muto, Castellanos, Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, like an entire Philly stack I'm completely okay with. The problem is trying to fit in your 2 pitchers there. That's kind of the problem here. This might be one where I just avoid DFS for this slate, and I just sports bet the home runs and extra base hits and stuff like that in these 2 games, which is probably what I do. Again, this is not the best slate. This is actually more games on a Thursday than I thought there would be, but I don't really enjoy this slate as much as I thought I would. Then we get to the 5-game main slate, the night slate, whatever you want to call it today. We've got the Yankees at Toronto first up. We've got Luke Weaver, who actually, he's going to be a free agent after the year. The Yankees are already out of it. I don't know what we're going to see with the lineup, but game logs, he's actually coming off a couple of good starts for the Yankees. A really good start against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 5.1 innings. He only had 3 Ks, though, but he did have 19.6. And then he came in, and Johnny Brito got the mop-up duty and actually did very well, which you could see that again, so that would be another little trick. Go with Johnny Brito if he's going to be in there. Luke Weaver I'm probably not using, especially against this Toronto team. And then Toronto's, they're throwing out Chris Bassett. Splits-wise, he's faced the Yankees once this year, 7 innings, 7 Ks. The Yankees do strike out. Depends on the bats that the Yankees put out there today. Probably not the best, but we could see bats that I would look at if for Yankees. I would look at Judge, Gleyber Torres, Volpe, LeMahieu, Austin Wells I'm okay with. Oswald Peraza I would look at. Toronto bats I would look at. Obviously Bo Bichette Davis Schneider's just a little bit too. It's crazy that he's more expensive than Vlad. I would look at Vlad. I would look at George Springer. I would look at Matt Chapman. I would look at Merrifield, Brandon Belt. I love me some Brandon Belt today here against Weaver. Moving to the next game, we've got Miami at the Mets. Now, there is weather concern yet again, so this is definitely something to monitor. You got Jesus Lizard, Jesus Luzardo versus the New York Mets. And then you got David Peterson. So another battle of the lefties here. Luzardo, up and down. He had not a good game against Milwaukee. Somehow he had a fantastic game against Atlanta. We did stack Atlanta against him there. Screwed us over. Not a good game against Milwaukee again. Up and down, like I said. He's faced the Mets once this year, 5.2 innings, 4 walks, 5 Ks. Actually had 23.2 fantasy points. This is a pitcher's park, so I would look at him. Tournament. Again, these are all tournaments. He is a lefty. And then David Peterson here going up against Miami. Splits, he's faced them once this year. 5 innings pitched. Only 1 earned run with 5 Ks. He's the most expensive he's been all year. No. It's the most expensive he has been since May 9th. Which I'm a little bit concerned of. I'm probably not on the David Peterson train. I'm probably not on the Luzardo train. I'm looking at the bats in this one, if the weather holds up. Now, looking at this, Pete Alonso against the lefty, I always love. Lindor being a switch hitter, I love. Jorge Soler against a lefty, I do love. I would look at Jake Berger. So let's just look at the Mets bats. Yeah, not a ton. Alvarez, I'm okay with. Brett Beatty, I'm okay with. That's probably it. Miami bats, like I said. Jazz, I'm okay with. Soler hits lefties well. Jake Berger, I'm okay with. Josh Bell hits lefties well, and he's been on fire. Brian De La Cruz, I don't mind either. Sanchez and John Birdie, I'm all for with the Mets and the Marlins bats in this one. Then we got the Cubs at the Braves as the next game. We've got Stroman, who's going to be an opener, I suppose, versus he's a very expensive opener at $7,900. Coming off the IL, he threw, 1 to 2 innings, maybe 3 versus Colorado. That's basically it. I don't trust that. That is the problem. Still trying to get his arm strength back up because they're trying for this playoff push that they might not hit. But he's an opener, so I'm not paying $7,900 for an opener. And then Assad will be the long relief. Assad's big, 1 inning his last. It's going to be. I hate this time of year. You can't trust the pitching in this one. So I'm off of that. And then you got Dylan Dodd coming in, has not faced the Cubs this year. He's going 4 innings. He's not going deep into games. I'm looking at bats in this one. For Atlanta bats, obviously Acuna, Matt Olson. Again, though, Braves obviously clinched. They're going to the playoffs. This is one where we need to monitor if they're going to have all these guys playing in this game. But I would look at Olson. Albies, I'm okay with. Austin Riley, I don't mind. Looking Ozuna, Sean Murphy, Travis d'Arnaud, depending on which catcher's there. I'm okay with those guys. The Cubs bats, Cody Bellinger. Again, guys, it's been a minute. Had a good game on the 26th. 17 fantasy points there. Not a home run. Hasn't hit a home run since the 19th. He is due. It could come here. It is in Atlanta. It would be a little bit better if it was in Chicago, but we are in Atlanta. I would look at Bellinger. I would look at Nico Horner. I would look at Chris Morel. I would look at Dansby Swanson back in Atlanta. Depending, I guess Candelario got reinstated off the IL on Wednesday. Still kind of expensive at $4,400. Probably off of that a little bit. Seiya Suzuki, I also like. So I'm not looking at the pitching in this. I'm definitely looking at Atlanta and the Cubs bats. It will really just come down to you got to wait for the lineups to come out and be posted. Then we can kind of build our lineups that way. Next game, Dodgers at Colorado. Again, I don't like pitchers in Coors. You got Ryan Yarbrough versus Chris Flexen. Flexen, not doing much. Splits-wise, has not faced the Dodgers this year. Pitching at home, he's got a 5.9 ERA, 7 ERA overall versus Yarbrough coming into Colorado. He's got a 3.78. He's faced Colorado once this year for only 3 innings. I'm not trusting either of these pitchers. I am looking at the bats. Now, Dodgers have already clinched. Colorado has not. Obviously, they're not a decent team, I'll say, nicely. This is one where we got to wait for the lineups, but for Dodgers, I mean, the top bats, they're very expensive. You're going to have to find salary relief somewhere pitching to be able to afford Coors bats. Depending on the Dodgers lineup that comes out, literally everyone on this lineup is a good match in Coors. Again, we've got to find the value in pitching to be able to afford them. Colorado bats that I would look at, Nolan Jones, Charlie Blackmon, Ryan McMahon, those are my top 3. Then I would bring it down to maybe Chris Bryant, maybe. Brendan Rodgers, I'm okay with. Hunter Goodman, I don't mind. These are all tournament options. Alan Trejo, but he doesn't. He's plays sporadically, and he hasn't really done much. He's averaging 3.9 at 3,200. I'm probably not using him. But yeah, I mean, in this game, I would focus on the guys that are averaging 5+, but I would look more at the Dodgers bats. And then the final game here, we got Texas at Seattle. We've got Logan Gilbert versus Jordan Montgomery. Now, Jordan Montgomery has been doing pretty well this season. 3.25 ERA, 10-11 record. They just weren't giving him run support, kind of like when he was with the Yankees, both teams, and then 161 Ks. Splits-wise, he's already faced Seattle once this year. 7 innings, 6 Ks in that one, 27.6 fantasy points. Game logs, he just faced this team his last start. 7 innings in that game. It's those numbers. He just faced them. Now, that is the problem. He just faced them in Texas. Now he goes to Seattle. I don't mind him at 8,800, especially at that price. I'm okay with that. And then you got Logan Gilbert. Now, Logan Gilbert going up against Texas, I mean, literally as much noise as this place can be, it's all just right now. He just faced Texas his last start. 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, didn't do much. He was 10,200. I don't trust him against Texas. He only did give up 2 earned runs, didn't go deep in the game. He didn't strike out very many. That's my problem. He's faced Texas twice this year. Total 12.1 innings, 4 earned runs, 12 K. So overall, he's been good. I just can't trust him at this price with the way Texas is batting. Now, bats-wise, I'm probably avoiding Seattle, but I will look at the Seattle bats with you because they do hit lefties well. They just didn't hit Jordan Montgomery his last start. Seager's day-to-day, this is definitely something to monitor. If Seager is in, I love him against Logan Gilbert. Julio Rodriguez against the lefty, I love. Let's just go Texas bats first. So Simeon, I'm okay with. Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, I'm okay with. Nate Lowe against a righty, I love. Mitch Garver, I don't mind. I like him more against lefties, though. Evan Carter would be a cheaper option, 3.9, and he's averaging 9.1, but he doesn't get in a ton of games. And then Seattle bats against a lefty, if you don't want to go with Montgomery, I would definitely look at Julio Rodriguez. I would look at Teoscar Hernandez, Cal Raleigh, J.P. Crawford. I like him more against righties, but I'll take him. Ty France against the lefty, I don't mind either. So that's kind of where I'm at pitching-wise overall in this main slate. Probably pay for Jordan Montgomery. Chris Bassett, just because the Yankees do strike out a ton, I would take a little bit of Chris Bassett there. You want to get tournament-wise, Luke Weaver. He's still kind of expensive. That maybe Yarbrough, because everyone will be off of him because it is Colorado. Maybe. But again, like I said, overall, the pitching's not the best. My main focus is NFL for you guys for the Thursday Night Football showdown between the Packers and the Lions, but I am bringing you this information to help you build out your lineups for MLB DFS. That being said, we are going to go through our top 10 bats after 2,000 simulations, and this is throughout the entire day. This is not relegated to a certain slate. This is all day. So, for the top bats here, and these are ones that you can use or you can fade, and these will change after we do 10,000 simulations. Most days they do change a little bit, either fantasy point projection or position, either where they're at in the lineup, where they're at in the line. All these things will change throughout the day while lineups come in, over-unders come in, the weather report is more fluid, and we can see stuff like that. So, after 2,000 simulations, the top 10 bats are, number 1, Max Kepler. Number 2, Jazz Chisholm. Number 3, Jorge Polanco. Number 4, Jorge Soler. Number 5, William Contreras. Number 6, Aaron Judge. Number 7 is Willy Adames. 8 is Carlos Santana. 9 is Edward Julian. And number 10 is George Springer. Now, looking at the pitchers, depending the ones that come out, we've got... Well, so not all of them are out yet. Sonny Gray, Jesus Luzardo, Cole Reagans, Chris Bassett, Sawyer Gibson-Long, David Peterson, Luke Weaver, and Luis Medina. Now, once everything gets out there and all of the pitchers are confirmed, then we'll have more throughout the 2,000 simulations. Then we'll have even more throughout the 10,000 simulations. So, if you found this video helpful or useful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys dominated. And if you did, let us know how you did on Wednesday. Good luck on this Thursday slate. Be on the lookout for everything we have to offer this weekend. We've got MLB this weekend. We've got NFL this weekend. We've got PGA. We've got MMA. We've got NASCAR. So good luck to everyone. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace!